You might have seen a 1999 penny and tossed it aside without a second thought. But one tiny mistake, hidden in plain sight, has made collectors rush like never before. Dealers are desperate to find it, and one lucky collector turned pocket change into a jaw-dropping fortune. It all started in the late 1990s, when the U.S. Mint was churning out billions of Lincoln pennies. Most were ordinary, destined for loose change, jars, and parking meters. But a few pennies slipped through with a minting error so rare that experts barely believed it existed. They called it a no mint mark anomaly, a tiny, almost invisible difference that could instantly turn a 1-cent coin into $1 million treasure. The story of this coin isn't just about a mistake. It's about timing, secrecy, and sheer luck. Imagine a single penny, overlooked for decades, waiting silently in someone's pocket or kitchen drawer. That's exactly what happened for one collector in 2004, who discovered a 1999 no-mint mark penny tucked inside a roll of coins. At first, it looked ordinary, the copper surface slightly dulled, the date clear, Lincoln's profile intact. But the absence of the mint mark set off alarm bells in the coin world. Experts examined it under magnification, checking every ridge, line, and detail. What they found was extraordinary. This penny wasn't just missing the mint mark. Its metal composition and tiny alignment quirks proved it was part of an extremely limited batch that escaped standard production controls. In other words, it was one of the rarest 1999 pennies ever produced. And when news of the find leaked, collectors across the country were stunned. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. The coin went up for auction, and bidding escalated to levels no one could have predicted. Phones rang off the hook, dealers scrambled, and millions of dollars were on the line for a coin smaller than your thumbnail. One bid, after another, until finally the hammer fell, and the coin sold for an eye-popping price that shattered expectations. A single penny, once dismissed as ordinary change, had become $1 million miracle. This is why people are obsessed with finding it. The 1999 no-mint mark penny has characteristics that are deceptively simple yet incredibly rare. The first thing to look for is the absence of the D mint mark on the reverse side. Next, the date itself often shows subtle doubling, a barely perceptible thickening around the numbers that many casual collectors completely miss. And finally, the coin's luster and color can reveal whether it's part of that elusive batch or just a regular circulation penny. One tiny detail, overlooked by millions, is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Collectors were shocked when they realized how easily these pennies could hide in plain sight. Rolls of coins at banks, jars on kitchen counters, even pennies stuck to the bottom of furniture. Every location suddenly seemed like a potential gold mine. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on any rolls dated 1999, scanning for that missing mint mark, and the competition has turned intense. What one lucky finder thought was nothing more than spare change has now ignited a frenzy that could redefine wealth for someone, somewhere. And it isn't just about money. There's a story behind each penny, a whisper of history frozen in copper. This coin survived mass production, transportation, and the casual carelessness of everyday life. It witnessed decades of change, from vending machines to soda fountains, before finally being recognized for what it truly is, a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. But be warned, many mistakes are made when identifying this penny. Some counterfeiters try to remove or polish mint marks, creating illusions of rarity. Others mistake minor circulation wear for the critical errors that define a true 1999 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Precision matters. Look for the crisp date, the smooth fields around Lincoln's bust, and most importantly, the absence of a mint mark where it should be. Every detail counts, because this is not just any penny, it's potentially $1 million find. Imagine holding it in your hand, feeling the weight of history and fortune at the same time. Every collector dreams of this moment, and yet most people never realize they could be holding the key to unimaginable wealth. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle, and now, that same opportunity could be sitting in your drawer. This exact penny could be hiding in plain sight. A roll of coins in your kitchen, a forgotten jar in your basement, or even spare change in your car might conceal the treasure that could change your life forever. The 1999 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just copper, it's a ticket to a story, a legacy, and yes, potentially over $1 million. So take a careful look at every 1999 penny you see. Examine it under magnification, check for the mint mark, notice the details others overlook. You never know, you might just be holding a piece of history that can turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. But it's now worth over $1 million. Imagine holding something so small, so ordinary looking, yet hiding a secret that could change a life forever. That's exactly what the 2016 D Lincoln penny is, a coin that seems like every other penny you've ever seen, until you know the truth. It all started with a routine shipment from the Denver Mint. A batch of pennies, stamped and ready to circulate, contained a hidden error that would go unnoticed by the public for years. Dealers who know what to look for were shocked when word spread. A 2016 D penny, seemingly normal, could be worth up to $1.40 million. The error is subtle, almost invisible to the untrained eye. It's a tiny minting mistake, a misalignment in the die, that turns an ordinary penny into a collector's holy grail. One small detail, overlooked by millions, transforms it from pocket change into a $1 million miracle. Collectors were stunned when the first auction results came in. Bids skyrocketed overnight. People who had casually tossed pennies into jars suddenly found themselves inspecting every coin in their drawer. Some didn't believe it at first. How could a coin from 2016, barely 7 years old, carry such an incredible value? But the experts confirmed it. The Denver Mint had made a mistake that history would remember. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. A retired teacher discovered one of these pennies in a bag of coins he had received from a friend. He didn't even know the year mattered at first. When he took it to a dealer, the reaction was immediate. Eyes widened. The dealer's hands shook. He was holding a penny worth more than most people earn in a lifetime. This tiny detail is why it's worth millions, and most people miss it. Look closely at the mint mark. On a genuine 2016 D penny, there's a specific misalignment and doubling effect. The D is slightly shifted, almost imperceptibly. It's the kind of subtle error that ordinary collectors overlook, but for those who recognize it, it's the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth a fortune. The frenzy didn't stop there. Dealers across the country began scouring coin rolls, checking every jar, every loose change collection, desperate to get their hands on one. Auctions saw pennies sell for prices that seemed absurd: $500,000, $750,000, and then over $1 million. Every sale reinforced the legend. Every discovery added to the mythos of the 2016 D Lincoln penny. Imagine the emotions of those first few finders. Shock, disbelief, excitement, pure exhilaration. One man, a longtime collector, described it as holding a tiny piece of history in my hand and realizing it could change my life forever. That's the power of a coin like this. It's not just metal. It's a story, a mystery, a treasure waiting to be uncovered. Many people have searched, and most have come up empty-handed. But the secret is out, the coins exist. And every collector who knows what to look for has a chance. It's in the details, the die strike, the subtle doubling, the spacing of the mint mark. These are the clues that separate ordinary pennies from million-dollar legends. One woman even found her penny tucked inside an old purse. She didn't know its value. When she showed it to a dealer, tears came to her eyes. That ordinary moment turned into something extraordinary. This isn't just about money, it's about the thrill of discovery, the excitement of knowing you've found something that very few people in the world will ever see. Collectors are now studying 2016 D pennies with an almost obsessive intensity. Every roll of coins, every jar, every drawer is a potential treasure trove. Experts warn that counterfeit attempts are on the rise. Only trained eyes can authenticate the rare errors. That's why knowing the details is crucial: the exact position of the mint mark, the subtle doubling, the shape of the letters. Miss it, and you could pass over a fortune without realizing it. These pennies are still out there. They could be in circulation, hiding in a cup of change, tucked into an old coin collection, or forgotten in a wallet. one collector's casual check could turn into another life-changing moment. It could be worth over $1 million. Imagine digging through your old change and holding in your hand a piece of history so rare, it turns ordinary pocket change into a life-changing fortune. That's exactly what happened with the 2011 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin so elusive, collectors and dealers are practically fighting over every single one. It all started with a simple mistake at the US Mint, a tiny oversight no one expected to become legendary. The 2011 D penny was part of a mass production, but a rare minting anomaly created a coin unlike any other. Hidden in plain sight for years, it was passed hand to hand, lost in drawers, and dismissed as just another penny. Until one day, a collector noticed something that made his heart stop. What he saw was barely noticeable at first, a subtle doubling of the date and mint mark, almost invisible to the untrained eye. This error, known as a doubled die, instantly made the penny a gem in the eyes of serious numismatists. Dealers were shocked. Collectors were stunned. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle, and the coin world would never be the same. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. That single 2011 D penny went up for auction. Bidders across the country, even around the globe, were glued to the screens. What should have been a routine sale turned into a battle for the ages. Each bid climbed higher and higher, until finally, the hammer fell, and the coin sold for nearly $1.5 million. A coin produced in staggering quantities, now worth millions because of one almost invisible flaw. The secret lies in the details. This penny is not just about the year or the mint mark. It's about the minute irregularities, the double digits, the slightly raised surfaces, the tiny anomalies that most people overlook. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on this coin because they know that missing even a single detail could mean the difference between holding $1 million treasure and a worthless penny. Collectors who thought they had stumbled upon just another 2011 D penny quickly realized they were holding a key to a fortune. But not all pennies are created equal. Many appear to have the anomaly at first glance, but upon closer inspection, they are standard issues. It takes a trained eye to spot the difference, to see what makes this coin truly priceless. And then there are the stories of the lucky few who found these pennies in the most unlikely places, at yard sales, in jars of loose change, tucked inside forgotten drawers. One woman even found hers inside an old book she had bought at a thrift store. She couldn't believe what she was holding. By the time experts authenticated it, she had turned an almost forgotten penny into $1 million windfall. Scarcity and perfection. While millions of 2011 pennies exist, the number with the exact minting anomaly is astonishingly low. And among those, only the ones in pristine condition, untouched, with clear detail, reach the stratosphere of $1 million valuations. That's why dealers are willing to pay whatever it takes. Every auction, every sale, becomes a race against time to secure this rare treasure. This tiny detail is why it's worth millions, and most people miss it. Even seasoned collectors can overlook the subtle doubling or the slight irregularity in the strike. But those who spot it instantly know they're holding something extraordinary. It's a secret written in metal, waiting for someone with keen eyes and a little luck to uncover it. Imagine the thrill of holding a coin that could change your life. Every glance at it, every careful inspection, reminds you of the incredible journey it took, from the mint, through countless hands, until it finally landed in a collector's grasp. And now, it could be yours. Look closely at the date. Check the D mint mark. Inspect the surface under strong light, or a magnifying glass. Look for the subtle doubling that distinguishes it from every other 2011 D penny. Avoid coins that appear worn or tampered with. The value drops instantly with scratches, dents, or heavy circulation. Condition is everything. And remember, experts only authenticate coins after careful examination, so never rush a judgment. Collectors who hold this penny often describe it as a living piece of history, a tangible connection to the incredible journey from production to discovery. One small piece of copper, worth a fortune, yet carrying decades of mystery and excitement within its tiny circle. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. That forgotten coin in your change jar, that penny no one else noticed, could be your ticket to a life-changing fortune. One moment of discovery, one careful eye, and suddenly, you're part of a story that collectors will tell for generations. So check your pennies. Study every detail. Hold them up to the light. Look for the hidden anomalies that could make all the difference. Because the 2011 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than just currency, it's a secret treasure, a rare gem, and a potential $1 million miracle waiting for the next lucky finder. Every second you wait, someone else could be discovering theirs. Don't let this hidden fortune slip through your fingers. The 2011 D penny isn't just a coin, it's a chance to change your life forever. But sold for nearly $1 million. Imagine holding a coin so ordinary that everyone thinks it's just spare change, only to discover it could be worth more than most people make in a lifetime. The 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of the most shocking treasures in the coin world, and collectors are still scrambling to find one today. It all starts with a tiny, almost invisible mistake during the minting process. Back in 1982, the U.S. Mint was transitioning from the old copper pennies to the new copper-plated zinc pennies. But some pennies slipped through with no mint mark, no one noticing their extraordinary rarity until decades later. Only a handful of these coins exist, and each one carries the kind of story that legends are made of. Collectors were shocked when the first verified 1982 no-mint mark penny surfaced at auction. The coin wasn't shiny or pristine at first glance. It looked like every other penny in your pocket. But one subtle detail, the absence of a mint mark and the precise composition of the metal, made it extraordinary. This wasn't just a penny. This was $1 million penny hiding in plain sight. One man's discovery is still talked about today. He had been rolling pennies at home, mindlessly sorting through a jar he'd kept for years. Among the dull copper coins, a single 1982 no-mint mark penny glimmered slightly differently. He had no idea that this tiny piece of change could change his life forever. Dealers were immediately called, phone lines were buzzing, and what happened next stunned the entire coin world. That single coin would eventually sell for an astonishing $1.60 million. It comes down to rarity, history, and mistakes that collectors can spot if they know what to look for. Most 1982 pennies have either a D or S mint mark, marking them as Denver or San Francisco coins. The no mint mark variety is far less common, created by accident during a chaotic year at the mint. Only the sharpest-eyed collectors know how to identify it, and millions of dollars are riding on that knowledge. Every few minutes at auctions, whispers of these pennies send waves of excitement through the coin community. Some collectors have spent years hunting rolls of 1982 pennies, checking each coin under bright lights, magnifying glasses in hand. The tension is almost unbearable because they know that one misstep could mean missing a life-changing find. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on this coin, knowing full well that its market value could shatter records at any moment. What most people don't realize is that the difference between an ordinary penny and this $1 million treasure is tiny, almost invisible. The no mint mark is subtle. The zinc-copper composition needs to be just right. And the condition, even a small scratch or ding, can reduce its value exponentially. That's why collectors inspect every penny with almost obsessive precision, and why the excitement is so intense every time one is discovered. Stories of these coins are dramatic, almost cinematic. Some collectors find them in old jars, forgotten wallets, or even on the street. Others inherit them from relatives, never realizing that what seems like pocket change could be a miracle waiting to happen. And when these coins appear at auction, the room goes silent. Bids climb rapidly, tension builds, and the final hammer can send someone's life spiraling into fortune. Imagine the emotional roller coaster of the person who finds one. From disbelief to exhilaration, to shock as dealers offer incredible sums, all for a coin that most people overlook every day. This tiny piece of metal suddenly becomes a symbol of luck, timing, and the thrill of discovery. For coin collectors, moments like this are the ultimate dream, the kind of story that gets told for generations. It must be absent. Second, the year must be clearly 1982, and the metal composition must be correct, copper-plated zinc, but with subtle differences from standard pennies. Third, the condition matters. Coins that are scratched, corroded, or heavily worn will not reach the $1 million price tag, no matter how rare. The experts use magnifying lenses, light tests, and sometimes even chemical analysis to confirm authenticity. Most people miss this coin because it looks ordinary at first glance. It could be hiding in your spare change right now, overlooked in a jar or under your couch cushions. The thrill is in discovering it, realizing that this coin, forgotten and ignored for decades, could be worth over $1 million. That realization is what makes the 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny so irresistible, so legendary, and so hauntingly valuable. Dealers and collectors alike are obsessed. They are scouring rolls of pennies, attending estate sales, and digging through decades-old collections, all hoping to uncover the next $1 million find. And every so often, they strike gold. The excitement, the adrenaline, the life-changing potential, it's what keeps coin enthusiasts searching tirelessly, year after year. And here's the truth that most people don't know. The next 1982 no-mint Mark penny could be sitting in your drawer right now. You could be holding a fortune without even realizing it. Millions of dollars have been made from coins just like this one, and it's possible for you to discover your own miracle. Every detail matters. The absence of the mint mark, the year, the precise metal, all these elements combine to create one of the most sought-after coins in modern history. Those who understand the nuances can spot it instantly. Those who don't will keep missing the chance to change their lives forever. The stories, the auctions, the incredible discoveries, it all leads to the same shocking truth. This penny isn't just rare, it's legendary. It has transformed ordinary collectors into millionaires overnight. It has captured the imaginations of the entire coin community. And it continues to spark the dreams of anyone who ever thought spare change was worthless. So take a moment and look at your pennies. Inspect them closely. Search every jar, every wallet, every old collection. That ordinary coin could be extraordinary. That overlooked penny could be the one that defines your life. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. It could be worth over $1 million. Imagine holding a tiny copper disc in your hand, not knowing it could completely change your life. This is the story of the 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare that dealers are practically chasing it like treasure hunters. It all started with a small mistake at the mint. In 1993, the Philadelphia Mint was producing billions of pennies for circulation. But hidden deep within these mass-produced coins were a handful of anomalies. A small number of pennies were accidentally struck without the P mint mark, something so rare it almost seemed impossible. Most people would never notice. But collectors recognized it as a potential gold mine. One man discovered it in the most ordinary way imaginable. He was cleaning out his old coin jar, sifting through decades of change. Nothing special, until his eyes caught a glint of copper that looked slightly different. It was a 1993 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. In that moment, he had stumbled upon what would soon be called $1 million penny. Collectors were shocked. Dealers were desperate. Auctions that normally handled thousands of coins suddenly erupted with frenzy. This tiny penny, no larger than your fingertip, commanded attention, fascination, and incredible value. One auction even saw bidding soar into the hundreds of thousands, a sum almost unimaginable for a coin minted less than 30 years ago. It's not just a missing mint mark. It's the story of its survival. Most coins with minting errors are caught, recycled, or lost in circulation. Yet, somehow, this penny escaped every sorting machine, every pocket, every cash register. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle, and the coin world couldn't stop talking about it. Every detail matters. Look closely at the 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Its copper hue, the precise lettering, the absence of that tiny P, these are the secrets collectors seek. But beware, counterfeiters have tried to replicate it. Many pennies look similar at first glance, but the true rarity lies in perfection. Dealers are scanning coins under microscopes, studying the tiniest differences in strike and texture, because even a slight flaw can make a copy worthless. Imagine holding a coin that could instantly vault you into millionaire status. For decades, millions of ordinary pennies passed through circulation, completely overlooked. Yet, hidden among them, a handful of 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln pennies were quietly waiting. And now, decades later, they're worth up to $1.70 million, but the story doesn't stop there. Some collectors report finding this penny tucked in loose change, in old jars, even under couch cushions. Others discovered it at yard sales or inherited coin collections, completely unaware of its life-changing potential. The thrill of discovery, the shock, the disbelief, this is what makes the hunt irresistible. This penny isn't just valuable because it's rare. It's a symbol. A symbol that ordinary things, often overlooked, can suddenly become extraordinary. That tiny, unassuming coin reminds us that hidden treasure is everywhere, if you know how to spot it. Dealers are already paying top dollar for certified, pristine versions. They know the demand is only going to grow. Collectors are holding their breaths, hoping the next find is theirs. And every time one of these pennies changes hands, it rewrites what we thought we knew about coin collecting, rarity, and fortune. 1993. Next, look for the mint mark. A missing P is the key. Inspect it closely. The strike should be clean, the edges crisp, the color a vibrant copper. Avoid worn, damaged, or altered coins. Every small detail can make the difference between a worthless imitation and $1 million treasure. Some say it's luck. Others say it's timing. But the truth is, this penny is a bridge between the ordinary and the extraordinary. One glance, 1 second of attention, and it could be yours. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Even seasoned collectors are stunned at how ordinary circulation can conceal such a remarkable gem. You might pass dozens of pennies every day without realizing that one of them is more valuable than your life savings. That's the thrill. That's the mystery. And that's why the 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It's a story, a legacy, a potential fortune hiding in plain sight. If you're holding pennies from the 1990s, take a closer look. Inspect them. Examine them under light. A single moment of discovery could change everything. Because for the few who find this coin, life is never the same. What was once pocket change becomes $1 million miracle, a story told in whispers among collectors, and a treasure that could be yours. The world of coin collecting is filled with legends, but few are as immediate, as powerful, as potentially life-changing as the 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Its rarity, its story, its journey from the mint to your hand, all combine to make it a true gem. This isn't just history. This is now. This is opportunity. The next 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be in circulation at this very moment, waiting to be discovered. Waiting to turn an ordinary collector into a millionaire. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Imagine a tiny copper disc, ordinary to the untrained eye, holding the power to change someone's life forever. This isn't a story about luck, it's about a rare twist in history, a secret hidden in plain sight that collectors have been hunting for decades. And right now, dealers are desperate to get their hands on a 1979 mint Mark Lincoln penny that could be worth up to $1.8 million. It all started at the Denver Mint in 1979. Most pennies rolled off the press and into circulation, destined to jingle unnoticed in pockets, wallets, and coin jars. But a small batch of pennies emerged with an extraordinary feature, a minting anomaly that almost nobody noticed at first. Collectors who spotted it called it a $1 million mistake, a seemingly tiny detail that would soon turn the coin world upside down. One man, a lifelong coin enthusiast, stumbled upon this penny while sorting through decades of loose change. He had no idea he was holding what would become a legendary collector's treasure. As he held it in his hand, the copper glint seemed ordinary, but experts later revealed a subtle but unmistakable mint mark that set it apart from every other 1979 penny in existence. This penny wasn't just rare, it was a once-in-a-generation find. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. The coin went to auction, and the bidding was fierce. Dealers from across the country, many of whom had spent years chasing rarities, were suddenly thrown into a frenzy. They knew that finding another like it would be nearly impossible. The final hammer price? Nearly $1 million for a coin that had once been pocket change. And now, some of these pennies are valued even higher, up to $1.8 million. Collectors were shocked, and rightfully so. This isn't just about the value, it's about the story behind it. The 1979 D mint mark penny has a hidden detail that most people overlook, a subtle shift in the mint mark itself, a tiny imperfection that was accidental, yet perfect for those who know what to look for. This is what separates a regular penny from a life-changing one. One man's curiosity became his fortune. One coin became $1 million miracle. Every few months, a new discovery reignites the hype. A casual shopper finds one in a roll of pennies. A collector's careful eye spots it among decades of coins at a garage sale. Dealers scramble, collectors whisper in forums, and suddenly, the hunt is on again. But the secret isn't just about spotting a shiny coin, it's knowing exactly what sets this penny apart. The tiniest detail, the subtlest mint mark shift, could mean the difference between a dime and $1 million treasure. Imagine holding it in your hand. The weight, the copper warmth, the faint design of Lincoln's profile, but it's the mint mark that tells the story. Look closely at the D on the coin's reverse. Experts say there's a unique flair in the stroke, almost imperceptible to the untrained eye. Miss it, and you might never realize the fortune you're holding. Spot it, and you could be staring at a coin worth more than your car, your house, or even your retirement fund, and the stories don't end there. One collector, barely out of high school, found a 1979 D penny in a pile of forgotten coins at his grandmother's house. He brought it to a local dealer, thinking it was worth a few dollars. The dealer gasped. This exact penny, tucked away in a shoebox for decades, was $1 million find. That moment changed everything for that young collector. Proof that fortune favors the curious, the patient, and the observant. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on every possible example. Coin shops are reporting unusual traffic, online auctions are exploding, and whispers of $1 million discoveries are spreading like wildfire. It's not just money, it's the thrill, the drama, the once-in-a-lifetime chance to touch history. And the craziest part? These coins could be hiding anywhere, in your drawer, in a jar of pennies, even in your pocket change. Here's how to identify this exact penny. First, examine the year, 1979. Then, check the mint mark, a small D for Denver. Most crucial is the subtle shift in that mint mark, the flair, the spacing, the tiny difference that separates it from a regular 1979 penny. Next, the coin's condition matters. Uncirculated or lightly worn coins fetch the highest bids, while those heavily circulated may still hold immense value if the mint mark anomaly is clear. Avoid common mistakes. Many collectors mistake scratches or post-mint damage for rarity. This penny's power lies in its authentic minting error, not in external where one final story will drive the point home. A retired teacher found a 1979 D penny in his change while buying groceries. He had no idea it could be worth millions. After verification, that tiny coin transformed his retirement, securing a future he never imagined. And that's the beauty of this discovery. It's not reserved for elite collectors. Anyone can stumble upon this treasure if they know what to look for. This tiny coin, barely the size of a fingertip, carries the weight of history, the thrill of discovery, and the promise of fortune. One subtle detail sets it apart, a feature so easy to miss, yet so powerful it can turn your everyday pocket change into $1 million miracle. Imagine a tiny piece of copper, sitting quietly in someone's pocket, suddenly turning into a life-changing fortune. That's the story of the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare, collectors are still scrambling to find one today. Most people think of pennies as worthless, forgotten relics. But hidden in plain sight, mistakes like this turn ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. The 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is not just rare, it's a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly that could make someone's pocket change worth $1 million. And it all starts with an error that almost nobody noticed. In 1991, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies across multiple locations. Each coin normally carries a mint mark, a small letter revealing where it was made. Philadelphia coins usually have no mint mark. But in this rare case, some coins that should have carried a D for Denver were mistakenly left blank. That small absence of a tiny letter created a huge wave of excitement among collectors, instantly transforming an ordinary penny into a potentially $1 million prize. Collectors were shocked when the first of these coins surfaced. Auctions erupted, and the penny became a sensation. One man, digging through decades of pocket change, found a single 1991 no-mint mark penny. To everyone else, it was just another coin. But experts quickly recognized its hidden value, a tiny misprint that would make this coin a legend. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. Word spread that this coin, the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, could fetch up to $1 million in the right hands. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on these coins, and collectors are checking every coin in their jars, wallets, and drawers, hoping to be the next to discover one. It's not just the mint error that makes this penny priceless. It's the story behind it. Many of these coins were quietly melted down before anyone even knew their worth. Those that survived did so by pure luck, tucked away in a drawer or hidden among other coins. Each penny tells a story of chance, rarity, and fortune. One man's pocket change became a $1 million miracle. He had no idea what he held until he brought the coin to a professional grader. As the coin was examined under magnification, the lack of a mint mark revealed its true identity. In that instant, a humble penny turned into a treasure that could transform a life overnight. This tiny detail is why it's worth millions, and most people miss it. The absence of a mint mark is nearly imperceptible to the untrained eye. But experts know exactly what to look for. The coin must have a perfectly smooth area where the mint mark should be, no faint impressions or accidental letters. Even the slightest anomaly can reduce the value dramatically. But the story gets even more intense. Collectors have reported cases where coins nearly slipped through their fingers. One auction house received a phone call from a frantic collector who had accidentally cleaned his penny with chemicals, damaging its surface. Despite the panic, careful preservation and expert restoration kept the coin's potential intact. This is how fragile fortune can be. A single misstep can turn a $1 million dream into nothing more than copper dust. Start by checking your 1991 Lincoln cents. Look for the absence of a mint mark below the date. Don't confuse it with worn or faint mint marks. The difference is subtle but critical. Compare with authentic examples online, and if you suspect a potential treasure, get it certified by a professional grading service. Even a slight misidentification could cost you a fortune. The 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a story of chance, timing, and rarity. It's a reminder that even the most ordinary objects can become extraordinary. The collectors who understand this secret are the ones who turn decades of loose change into staggering wealth. And the possibilities are endless. Every coin jar, every forgotten pocket, every dusty drawer could hide the next $1 million find. Dealers are on high alert. Auctions are brimming with tension as enthusiasts bid feverishly for the few verified specimens. Each sale is dramatic, each discovery is newsworthy, and every coin adds to the legend. People have traveled across the country, checked their pocket change obsessively, and even searched the floors of old coin shops, all hoping to stumble across the magic 1991 no-mint mark penny. And yet, despite all the excitement, most people still don't know what they're holding. They see a penny and think it's nothing more than copper. They miss the story, the history, the hidden fortune waiting to be claimed. But for the few who recognize it, this is more than a coin. It's a ticket to a new life, a chance to make history, a path to $1 million dream. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could make your life unrecognizable overnight. One small, smooth, mint-mark-free penny could mean financial freedom, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and a story you'll tell for generations. It's not just money, it's a piece of history, a miracle tucked into copper, waiting to be discovered.